This is a real case involving loss and violence. I'll keep descriptions non-graphic, but I won't pretend it was anything less than devastating. I almost didn't answer. Not because I didn't love my son, but because his calls usually arrived with a trap door underneath them. A favor, a story, a crisis that somehow became my crisis. But the moment he spoke, I felt it. This wasn't a call to negotiate. It wasn't even a call to connect. It was delivery. Like he'd already stepped over a line and just wanted someone else to look back and see it. And before he finished the first minute, I understood something terrible. Time mattered. Not tomorrow, not after I sleep. Now. That's when I realized the hardest thing a parent can become isn't a protector. It's a stop sign. Welcome to True Stories Retold. Tonight's episode, The Call No Father Should Ever Get. Wade Wilson's Final Confession. The screen was too bright. It made the room feel like an interrogation, like the phone itself was asking me if I was about to lie to myself again. I answered and waited for the familiar patterns, the charm, the irritation, the little hooks he used to pull you into doing what he wanted. But what I heard was stripped of performance. He didn't ease into it. He didn't test my mood. He started talking like I was a recorder. And I remember thinking, stay calm, keep him talking, keep him still. Because even then, some part of me believed the right tone of voice could keep a disaster from moving forward. Then he said he'd done something permanent. And I felt my body go cold, because that word isn't a mistake. It's a door closing. Denial isn't ignorance. It's triage. It's the mind buying you a few seconds so you can keep breathing. So I tried to translate what I was hearing into something survivable. He's high. He's exaggerating. He's trying to scare me. I asked questions I didn't want answered. I listened for inconsistency, anything that would let me say, okay, this is just Wade being Wade. But he didn't wander. He stayed focused. And that's what made my denial start to fail. Not the intensity of what he said, but the way he said it. Steady, ordered, like he was reading from a list. And then he did the one thing my mind couldn't file away as just talk. He said a name. I didn't want to believe it. I mean that in the most literal way. My mind fought it like it was fighting for oxygen. So I told myself he was just high, just telling stories like he always did. But then he started giving me details that didn't feel like a story. They felt placed, like he was standing in each moment again as he said it. He told me about the first one, a woman named Kristine. He said he'd met her at a bar, and when he said her name, something shifted in me. Because a name isn't a rumor. A name is a person. Then he told me he was in her car, a car he'd taken. I remember gripping the counter with my free hand like the kitchen might tilt, like the world might tip and spill me out of it. And what I heard in his voice, this is the part that still makes me feel sick, wasn't panic. It was the lack of remorse. It wasn't just that he said he'd done it. It was how he talked about it, like it wasn't a tragedy, like it wasn't even a mistake. He said he just wanted to do it. Do you understand what that does to a parent? Because I'm his father. And even if life didn't give me every year with him, it gave me enough to recognize when his voice didn't sound human anymore. And now I'm holding a phone to my ear, listening to my son explain a want that doesn't belong in a human being. That's when I realized I wasn't going to talk him into feeling guilty. I wasn't going to reason him into being sorry. All I could do was keep him talking, one more minute, then another, while my mind tried to figure out what reality I was standing in. When he finished talking about Kristine, there was a brief pause, like he was deciding whether I could handle the next part. And that's when he said another name, Diane. He said, Diane, and my stomach dropped, because he didn't say it like a memory. He said it like the next item. This is where my stomach dropped, not in theory, physically, like my body knew before my mind could catch up. He told me he'd seen her walking. He told me he lured her in, and then he did something I still can't scrub from my mind. He said he realized she was still breathing, and he went back. And then he described using the car again, repeatedly, like he was finishing a task instead of talking about a human being. And the phrase he used, God help me, I can still hear the way he said it, was that she looked like spaghetti. That's the moment my denial didn't just weaken, it collapsed. Because whatever I'd been hoping for, remorse, confusion, fear, none of it was there. And all I could think was, if he's saying this to me like it's nothing, what happens when he hangs up? Let me be precise. I'm describing what I heard on a call and why it convinced me this wasn't a hallucination or attention-seeking. It was the structure, the way he separated events, the way he anchored them to places, the way he referenced a car, a field, things with physical reality. I didn't want to believe it. I tried to tell myself he was just talking, but he wasn't fishing for my reaction. He was reporting. And the scariest part wasn't just that he'd done it, it was that he sounded unbothered. That's when my mind stopped asking, is this true? And started asking, where is he right now? People say, how could a father turn in his own son? And I need to say this without dressing it up. I didn't do it because I felt righteous. I did it because I felt trapped between two kinds of unbearable. If I protected him, I could be protecting whatever had taken over him. If I acted, I would be handing my child to consequences I couldn't control. That's the moral anchor of this story. It's not about justice as an idea. It's about a parent realizing the most loving thing left might be the thing that breaks you. When I hung up, I stood there, staring at nothing, like my brain was waiting for someone to yell, "Cut!" But no one did. I knew if Wade stayed out there, there would be a third call, a fourth. Another family learning a name the way I'd just learned them, like a weight dropped into your hands. So I called the police. I told them it was my son, Wade Wilson. I told them what he said. I told them the places he described as best I could, because I wasn't a detective. I was just a father, trying to turn terror into something usable. That's the turning point. That's the second my life split. Because after that, I wasn't only his father anymore. I was a witness. People expect closure. Like the right choice comes with peace. It doesn't. You get a system, interviews, waiting, the slow grind of reality catching up. And you get your own mind replaying a voice you raised, saying things you can't file away. I grieved the women who were gone, Kristine, Diane. I grieved for their families, even without knowing them, because I suddenly understood how permanent a stranger can become in your life. And I grieved my son, too, because whatever I'd been hoping to save, I couldn't find it on that call. I still love him, and I still did what I did. I didn't stop loving him. I just stopped protecting him from consequences. That's the call no father should ever get. This has been True Stories Retold. If you want more true stories retold from the inside, subscribe, leave a like, or pass it to someone who double-checks the locks. Thank you.